Hi there, welcome to my tutorial on Microsoft Team Tabs Authentication with Adal. My name is Rodney Woonswegger and I've been a software developer for the past 4 years. I'm working at a company in the Netherlands called ilionx and we mainly focus on Microsoft technology. A few weeks ago I was asked to find out whether a SaaS application that we build as a web app, whether I can integrate that within a custom app with tabs within Microsoft Teams. Well, I thought that should be possible. Shouldn't be too hard, right? So the first thing I did, I went to the documentation of Microsoft to see how to do this within Teams, and it has some information over here. And the thing I looked at was the silent authentication, because I wouldn't want a user to log in since they're already logged into Teams, right? And it has some information also with Adal. So this is the configuration for your Adal. You check whether the user is logged in, and here there's a whole lot of stuff. And lastly, we handle the callback. It does provide some information. It's not sufficient to actually make this thing work. And if we look at the schedule of how the authentication goes, you can use this authentication flowchart, which basically tells us, okay, this is how the auth tool works. This actually helped me to think about a problem which I didn't think of before, and that is if the user cannot be signed in, it still needs to have like a fallback, like a button they can click to go to the authentication. Alright, so far so good. So there's some sample code available. If we go here in the source and then views, I believe, tab authentication, we can see that there are some files there where they actually set it up, but it's in handlebars and Node. It uses jQuery and it does not really cover like how to set it up. It only shows like this is what works. Last but not least, they tell you to include a package from Microsoft Teams JavaScript, and I thought, okay, this is a good place to start. So it's like npm install, great, usage, import, okay, well that seems nice. Okay, script, okay, I can work around that. Hey, there's no documentation. Okay, this is where things kind of got scary for me. It's like, okay, so how are we going to do this? Well, basically it came to the point where I had to look into the source code to find out how to do it. And it was a major pain in the ass. So to save other people from that trouble, I thought like, let's make a video tutorial about this, because I think there's quite some potential in being able to put your own websites within Teams. So in this tutorial, we're going to cover the following points. We'll first have to go to Azure. So you'll need to have an Azure account to follow along. And we'll set up some resources there. We'll start with a resource group, then we'll make a web app, and finally we will make an app registration so we are allowed to log in. Next, we're going to set up an Azure repo. We're going to set up an Azure repo, and we use create React app, the CRA, to create a React application. Once that completes, we're going to send back the React app to our repo, so the source code lives within Azure Devops. Next, we're going to set up Azure Devops CI/CD. So what we'll do, we'll first create a pipeline, and we'll connect a release to an automatic trigger on pushing our source code to the repo. That way we can easily check our code when we just push. After that, I'll walk you through the authentication scheme. I made my own scheme that's a little bit easier to read. I left off some details, but I'll walk you through once we get there. Next, we're going to install the packages, and we're going to clean up, scrutinize the Create React app a little bit, because there's some things like logos and service workers, which we don't really need for this application. So we'll clean up a little bit so we have a good starting point. And last but not least, we're going to code the application. It's not really too difficult, but it does take some time. So let's get our feet wet and get started.